Hey, it's Paris. You know, I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Love espresso, drip coffee, and cold brew? With the Ninja Luxe Cafe, if you can crave it, you can brew it. Espresso, balanced. Drip coffee, rich. Cold brew in a flash. With Barista Assist technology, you brew with no stress and no guesswork and make perfect silky microfoam hands-free from dairy or plant-based milks. Shop the Ninja Luxe Cafe at ninjakitchen.com.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
You set the table, put on a playlist, even made the lasagna from scratch. And now you're wearing it. OxyClean Max Force Spray tackles tough, set-in stains the first time. Adulting is hard. Fighting stains shouldn't be. OxyClean Max Force. It's not clean unless it's OxyClean.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtual Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your virtual pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We are so excited to bring you this show.
Our podcast is all about unraveling all of your favorite mysteries from the Assassin's Creed games. Each episode we'll be talking about a different topic in the Assassin's Creed universe. From Pieces of Eden, solar flares, and the Isu, to the Hidden Ones, the Order of Ancients, and of course, the Animus. We will seek to uncover it all.
So join us and maybe even take a leap of faith.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby. You also know me as She-Cup. And today is our February patron chat. So I'm here with my co-host, Austin.
Hey, I'm Austin Ortica.
And I'll also give some of our patrons a chance to introduce themselves. Welcome, Sir Sitz.
How's it going, guys?
Going well. Thanks for being here. And welcome also to Kyle.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So just for the listeners, I know we all already know the topic, but for the listeners, our topic for today is going to be all about our kind of expectations and thoughts so far about the Shadows game and its upcoming release, which is going to release exactly a month from the time of recording this podcast, which is really exciting. I don't think it's going to get delayed again. I know we're making some crossing our fingers over here in the chat, but I don't think at this late in the game they're going to delay it again. Within a month's notice would be crazy. But anyways, anything can happen. It is Ubisoft after all. It is the video gaming industry after all. But anyway, so our topic today is going to be all about our reactions and expectations for the game, what we're excited about, what we're not so excited about, and, just any kind of thoughts that we have on the game. So I'm just going to open the floor. We don't have to do this as much of a like Surf Sits goes and then Austin goes and so on and so forth. It can just be more of kind of like an open discussion. So, yeah.
I know one thing that I'm excited for, and that is the canon mode, especially with how my channel, my Assassin's Creed YouTube channel that I have, which I will talk about later. That's a big up for me. I like that a lot. People are giving it crap, just saying it's taking away player choice, but it's your choice to turn it on or off. So, but that's one thing I'm super excited for. It's probably something low bar thing that I'm excited for, but I am pretty stoked about that.
So my thing with that, and like the response of like takes away player choice, isn't too much player choice what what the fandom has been complaining about for the last like 8 years or whatever?
Yeah.
I just also, this is going to be a rant from Shelby. I get so frustrated by people, not necessarily just in Assassin's Creed fandom, but like in general, gamers who focus so much on player choice, like especially in the Dragon Age games and other RPGs, it's like people get so mad when you can't just like be a complete and total asshole. I'm like, why do you want to role play a game where you usher in the end of the world? Like, that's never going to be the story that the developers tell. The developers of Ubisoft and for Assassin's Creed are never going to let us side with the Isu completely. Like, there's got to be a limit on player choice because they also have to tell the story. It's like in D&D, when you play D&D, a complete sandbox mode where you just can do whatever you want is not going to be as fun as the DM actually planning and telling a story in the game with the players. So gamers out there, if you're one of the people complaining about player choice, just play the game and try to experience the story that the developers want to tell, is my personal opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, I am also excited for the canon mode, just to like have the point of like no longer having to be like, hey, they confirmed in the novel that this particular thing is canon. But now I can be like, hey, in canon mode, like this is what it for, as Sir says, for people who make content, and it makes our job a little easier.
I bet. Like I definitely will probably keep it on for like the first playthrough, but it's definitely something I can see myself turning on the canon mode for like subsequent playthroughs to make it a little bit less tedious, and for sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
Why don't we, just for the listeners who maybe don't know what the canon mode is, does somebody want to kind of give just like a basic overview of the explanation of what it does?
So
you go ahead.
Yeah, it pretty much just like limits your dialogue options, and so like think about how like cutscenes would play pre Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So the cutscenes play, you have there's dialogue that happens and you don't really have input into what dialogue is said when. You might have little choices like does Ezio hug Leonardo or not? But like it's basically returning back to that old style of gameplay where it is literally a historical story. You do not have control or input on any of the cutscene conversations.
Which I never liked in these games, in the past couple games. I mean, I'll play them no matter what, but
I think I liked it in Odyssey. I liked it in Odyssey more than anything. I think the rest of them I could have like taken or leaving it for sure.
Especially Valhalla, because like
it didn't matter really
point.
In that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I could say this thing or this thing. It's like the same thing's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Odyssey too, to some extent, but
yeah,
not nearly as much as Valhalla.
It's like the illusion of player choice.
Yeah.
And I like Odyssey. I don't mind it as much because like that's so long ago. Like the historical record of that time period is unreliable anyway. And so there's so much that we don't know that you're not really making choices that are altering how history would play out regularly. So like the things that we're having, like, what's Cassandra friends with Socrates? Do we know? Do we have proof that she was? No. Do we have proof that she wasn't? No. So yeah, just kind of things like that. But yeah, that's what canon mode is.
I actually have the Odyssey novel next to me because I was trying to find the audiobook for it. But this is a good book too.
A lot of them are on audiobooks. I think the Ezio ones are on the audiobook, but I was looking for the Assassin's Creed 3 one because I was platinum in it a little bit ago, and I was trying to look for it, but it wasn't on any digital audiobooks.
I don't remember which one we have. We've thrifted several of the physical ones, not the audiobooks. So if you have like a McKay's near you, that's where we've gotten all of ours. So check that out for sure.
I'm not a good reader. Listening to it's a lot easier for me for sure.
I feel you.
Sitting down and actually just reading, it's always it never keeps my focus.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm really looking forward to about this game is, at least with the story and everything they've publicized so far, it very much is a return and continuation of like focusing on the assassins. Like, it's not going to be like Valhalla, which is, there are assassins in that time period, but Eivor wasn't one. So it's going to be focusing on telling a story about assassins. And I know that at least, Yasuke is not an assassin at the beginning of the story, but we don't know what will happen by the end. But like just the classic conflict between assassins and Templars, man, like that's why we love this. One of the reasons why we love this game series. And so I'm really excited to return to those themes.
I mean, this one takes place a couple of years, like 10 or so years after Ezio's death. So like,
yeah, like it's
a little bit longer than that, I think, actually, but
it's like probably 30 or 40 years because he dies kind of like in the middle of the 16th century, and this play takes place at the end of the 16th century.
Yeah, and like even Xiao Jun's like an older lady at this point,
right?
In her 70s or 80s.
Yeah, so that's why I would be upset if like they were still going by like Hidden Ones and Order of Ancients, because like we've had games before this time period where they're called Assassins and Templars. And I just like seeing the Templar cross and the story trailer and all of that got me really excited for that kind of conflict. And I think the fandom is excited for that very classic content, because our Assassins versus Templars episode, where we talk about the historic conflicts between the Assassins and Templars across history, have been some of our most popular episodes.
I mean, that's why we got into this game series. It's what draws us in, I think. That and like the time periods are fascinating to play through.
Yeah, I love historical fiction.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I'm really looking forward to is kind of like just Naue in general, her entire play style, her entire everything, just then like the use that they've gone over in the like overviews of like how her size is going to play into this. Like, she's tiny, so she can fit into tiny places and can do all of those things. And I really am looking forward to that. I just hope that it's not a point of like, oh, if I'm in combat, like, good luck. Kind of like trying to fight when, if y'all remember in Assassin's Creed Liberation, trying to fight when Aveline was in her like lady outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And then one thing that like I'm just really still concerned about is a lack of a modern day story. I really think this series overall hurts when there isn't one.
Yeah, I agree.
That could be your soapbox for days. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have given you time on the podcast where you have gone into that opinion in depth.
Mm-hmm. I think we'll get more. not in the games per se, but in the hub thing. I can't think of what it's called right now. The Animus hub or whatever you call it. I feel like
Infinity, I think, is what Assassin's Creed Infinity.
Infinity, yeah. I feel like all the most of the like current day stuff is going to be in that, and apparently, I've heard that there's a very small, like just to set up the story. I hope it's better. I mean, I don't know. I hope it's better than like I forget what he's called in Black Flag and Rogue. Those are my least favorite modern day.
You're
just
analyst employee, I guess. Yeah, analyst.
You're just a guy, analyst. Yeah, you're just a guy
who ends up siding with the Templars. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like Unity and Syndicate, where it's just like cutscenes and like, oh, that's all you get of modern day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would at least prefer like the cutscenes over just the nothing of Mirage. And
yeah, for sure. That was definitely a big thing I didn't like in Mirage. Was like,
me too.
You get a little narration from the world's worst dad, and that's about it.
Retweet. I just want to take that little sound clip and like add it to every episode we put out because like, yes, 110%.
The first thing you hear at the beginning of the mid break.
Like before we ever do, like we'll have like a William Miles soundbite and Kyle saying "world's worst dad" right before he plays. Austin will probably veto me on that though.
No, I get it. I would veto that too. I wouldn't want to hear me every episode.
Listen, I hate William Miles. I hate William Miles as much as everyone, but I do think that he got dealt a shit hand sometimes. But
we don't have to get into this again.
Yeah,
right.
Like, this is
that could be a whole nother podcast.
This is a whole topic we've gotten into multiple times on the podcast, notably on William Miles's character deep dive. So if you would like to hear my opinion further and you're new to the show, maybe you can go back and listen to that episode and we will very clearly lay it all out for you.
Nice plug.
Another thing that I am really excited about, and I think that a lot of people are on this same train and is going to bring back a lot of older fans who maybe haven't played in a long time. It's just the setting. It's such a long awaited setting for the fandom. People have wanted this setting since, like some of the earliest Assassin's Creed games. So I think a lot of folks who haven't necessarily played an Assassin's Creed game in many years potentially could come back and play this one just because they have always wanted this setting.
And this might sound weird, but I'm glad it's happening now and not back then.
Yeah.
just because the amount of technology that we have now, it's from what we've seen so far, it looks gorgeous. And yeah, I'm very excited about that as well. Another thing that on two sides of the same coin, I like, and I'm nervous about is the weather, like the seasons. It's a cool idea. I like how during the winter, you have a little bit less, to some extent, less stealthy things. Like you're not swimming and you have to walk on the ice. But also on the other hand, you could apparently use icicles to take out people, which is cool. But the way I've heard it is like every couple hours of gameplay, the season will change. I'm not entirely sure I like that. I would prefer, like, I don't know if you guys have ever played Days Gone, but once you go into a mission in that game, it's always either during the day or at night. So if you go in the spot where the mission is during the day, it automatically turns into night. So like I've always wanted that in Assassin's Creed, where it's like, again, with the canon thing. This is when this happened, how it happened. But I mean, I still think it's really cool, changing up how you do stuff depending on the season. I don't want it to. I'm in the middle of a mission. I don't think this will happen, but I don't want to be in the middle of a mission. It's like, oh, the season changed. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense. I heard maybe you can change it or something. I'm not exactly sure, but
it would make sense if they have I don't remember how many games back this has gone, but in the recent games at least, you've had the button where you can rest and then it changes the day into night or vice versa. It would make sense if they had an option to do that and it changed the season, maybe not rest specifically, but some other configuration. But my hesitation with this is I'm always cautious about bugs with Ubisoft games, and I feel like this is one instance where, okay, it sounds like a cool idea and it is a cool concept, but have they fleshed it out enough for it not to be buggy? I don't know. It just seems like something that could very easily be oh yeah, let's implement this, and then they didn't necessarily think it through fully, and then, well, we're a week from launch and it's still not working the way it should. So we'll see.
You have to play the game for a month before it gets fixed.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good reason that they have postponed the game twice, even though if they postpone it again, I might lose my mind. But
yes. Well, I guess it now will be a good time to go to our mid-break. So we'll do that.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Whether it's a movie night or just midday, Skinny Pop is a salty snack that keeps on giving. Made with just 3 simple ingredients for an irresistibly delicious taste and a large serving size that lasts. Deliciously popped, perfectly salted. Skinny Pop, popular for a reason. Shop Skinny Pop now.
Introducing the new Volvo XC90 with 7-seat versatility, Google built-in, and advanced safety features for all your precious cargo. The new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more.
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot a flying demon!
Quite a carriage you got there. Where did you buy it, if you don't mind me asking?
Ask all you want, Freddy. You'll never get an answer.
Damn it all. Was it my eyebrows?
Yes, and your face, voice, and body.
What have you done? We used them. They were not ready for firing. You could have gotten us all killed. Let me see. His breath is more fatal than our cannons. Only when you two fools are shooting them. There, try it.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. This is where we talk about all the things that have to do with the Assassin's Creed lore cast and not the lore of Assassin's Creed. The first thing I have to do is thank all of our awesome patrons. We are on our patron chat tonight, so thank both of you. And thank you to everybody else who's a patron. And I have to give a very, very special shout out to one of our newest patrons, who is Jordan H. Just joined the podcast at the Brotherhood Initiate tier. So thank you so much for your support and welcome. Now, if you can't support us financially, we do understand that. And the next best way to support us is to leave us a rating, a review, a comment, what have you. You can do that on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can leave comments. If you leave us comments on or reviews on somewhere that's not Spotify or Apple, and you still want us to read it out, you may have to send it to us because those are the only two we monitor. So if you do leave us a review and leave it somewhere else, make sure you send it to us on Discord or our email or wherever you can contact us. But yeah, definitely leave us a rating, review, or comment so that our other people who may discover the podcast know that we're a good show to listen to. Now, the next thing I have to shout out is our Discord server, which is growing every day. And I always say it's the best place on the internet. We have tons of people. We have tons of fun over there. Just a lot of crazy people. Making memes and talking about games. So if those things interest you, the Discord is definitely a place for you. And I don't have any updates for my Assassin's Creed playthrough because I'm not playing through Assassin's Creed right now. And I won't be until after Austin finishes Shadows. I'll play it. So no more updates on gameplay from me unless you just want to hear about my other games that I'm playing. And then again, you can come hang out in the Discord and ask me about it and I'll tell you. So with that, Austin, I think we're ready to get back into it.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Malaka. But that madman, the self-proclaimed Bishop of the Ruins, is our biggest critic. He calls our playing the devil's bagpipes.
I will sleep with anyone as long as they agree to be executed in the morning.
Like Xantivis.
He was well satisfied with his bargain. Who is this toothsome fellow?
My queen, this is,
Well?
It is a generous offer, but I've already pledged my life to this woman.
Aya, you have chosen well.
All right. So things we're excited for, things we're nervous about. This isn't really about the game, but I am just nervous for the launch of this game. I'm nervous for how the fandom's gonna react. Am I gonna have to get on here and say, hey, y'all, stop being racist? Who knows? Hey, if you're listening, don't make me do that. The choice is yours.
Yeah, I'm definitely already nervous because I'm definitely as much as I respect Austin, definitely playing completely free of it. I've been watching a lot of the YouTubers play it, and every comment under there, it's just ridiculous. How much is Ubisoft paying you or all this? And I'm just really, dude. So I just know it's probably going to be just as bad, if not worse, when the game comes out. I'm just what's the point of doing all that? Crazy.
And I do think I'm just going to shout out, our other podcast is the Dragon Age Lorecast. And if you're unfamiliar, the Veilguard came out last year and got attacked also on YouTube. There are some criticisms of the game for sure. I'm not just a shill over here, but as a whole, I think the gaming community can be a lot more kind. Mark Dara, who is a former BioWare developer, recently released a YouTube video that is basically saying like the $70 you pay for a game does not entitle you to be cruel to the developers, because they're people too. And a lot of times the developers are working under conditions that are unreasonable due to the CEOs and executives. And so, not every decision in a game that you don't like is the fault of the developers. So I agree. I'm nervous about the reception, but I also just think we can be a lot kinder. Not everything that we don't like in a game calls for a death threat, calls for attacking the developers. And I think it's sad that that's where video gaming is at in 2025.
I mean, no matter, I feel like that's such a big thing now, and no matter what fandom you're in, there's always going to be some idiot, spewing nonsense. But like that's I've seen those same kind of comments on videos, like, "Oh, you're such a shill for quit being a Ubisoft's whatever." Because people I watch, if you watch some people, they're going to give their criticisms as well as their praise. Like my favorite, one of my favorite YouTubers, Joe Raptor, he, if he sees something he doesn't like, he's going to tell you. He's going to say, "I wasn't really a big fan of this, but blah 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 blah." And like I said, I feel like in every single fandom, there's people like that, and it's just the way the world has changed lately. But yeah, and I don't necessarily think it's just a video game effect. Like, it's not just video games, it's every fandom, like you said. But I mean, I personally am of the opinion that just because that's kind of the way it's been doesn't mean that's the way it has to be in the future. So we can always make a change. And the change starts with us, which I know sounds corny and cringe, but it is the truth. So anybody out there listening who has made a hate comment in the past, it's never too late to be kind. Yep. Another thing, to change the subject, sorry. Another thing I'm worried about is, this is also going to sound weird, I'm worried that I'm going to play too much of Naue. Because, she is, quote unquote, the assassin of the duo. I think Yase is going to be a super cool character. I'm just worried that I won't play him enough. I mean, obviously, he's not as nimble. He can't climb everything like Naue can. But I feel like we got kind of the brute, quote unquote, brute with Eivor. I love that game, but that's probably one of my least favorite parts of that. Is you're just, I mean, it's cool to see her dismember people. We've played Assassins for so long, doing parkour and all that stuff. Done that for so long that, I mean, even in Valhalla, it's not as fast and stuff in that game, but you still, it's kind of a staple of the game. So I'm I'm worried that we'll have to wait till the game comes out, obviously, but I want to see. I feel like they haven't really shown a lot of what he can do, other than they showed more of what he can't do. But I mean, obviously, like I said, we'll just have to wait for the game to come out.
Right. It'll be interesting. Like, the way they've portrayed it is that, like, Yasuke's stealth, quote unquote stealth, will be so different than Naue's. Like, it's almost at the point of, like, he's such a massive brute that people ignore him because they're afraid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. I also have two points. 2 points. Number one, I will be very disappointed if they do just like stick with the like Yasuke is a massive brute narrative the whole game, because I do think that can, depending on how it's done, it can be kind of problematic for a black person in Asia. Like, I don't know, that just seems very stereotypical and borderline offensive. So I have to hope that's not how it's actually going to come across. But also another thing I wonder about with Yasuke's story, you know, we've been given so much more information about Naoe's story rather than his. And I just have to wonder if part of that is because of just the narrative of his story. Like maybe he becomes an assassin. You know, he probably has some pretty big character developments in the game that they don't want to spoil. That's my guess, at least, of why they've been a little bit more close-lipped on his abilities and his story, because it would make sense of like he becomes an assassin in the game, or at least an ally, and starts like learning more of these assassin like tricks. And so like, okay, he can get more stealthy by the end of the game. That would make sense to me. But I guess we'll just have to wait until it comes out until we get those answers, truthfully.
I would also like to like see it, because he is a retainer of Nobunaga, of like he is able to use station and power in a lot of ways. Like thinking of like, you know, a paladin in D&D is a big brute fighter, but they're also a charisma caster, which means that they know how to talk to people and they know how to diffuse situations and they know how to like basically gain information through conversation and other things like that. And so it would be really interesting if like Naoe doesn't have the ability to like talk to people basically, and it's Yasuke who is like cultured and well versed and can navigate the Japanese nobility in such a way.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think they've really shown too much of him, which is kind of what has me worried. I mean, for what little we have seen is cool. Like I've seen videos of him doing leaps of faith and just like flopping down on the ground, like, oh, that hurt. I think that's gonna be fun, but also at some point you're like, come on, man, like just get up, don't complain.
Yeah, I guess my big hope for it is just that it's not like he doesn't feel shoehorned in. It's like just like we have to, because the whole point they were talking about was, you know, wanting to put the shinobi and the samurai in the game, and like I definitely see that, but at the same time, with him not being as stealthy, like for the reason I play Assassin's Creed games, I have me a little worried for sure. But he still looks really fun to play as, and like I'm sure the whole point is to get players from both sides, because like if you don't really play Assassin's Creed but you really liked Ghost of Tsushima, you know, then you're probably going to favor him. If you're a really big Assassin's Creed fan, you'll favor Naoe, and then kind of mix both depending on what you like. So I'm hoping that there's, you know, definitely some play for both.
Right. Yeah. But Ghost of Tsushima really gives me hope, because there are elements of that game of like, you can go and brutalize your way through. It's sometimes a lot harder, but you can also be stealthy. Like and his whole point in that story of Jin's progression in that story is to, you know, maybe in this case, the samurai's honor is not the best way to go, and I need to use different tactics to save people's life.
Right.
Since we're talking about this, I'm super excited for Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah, I'm also working through Ghost of Tsushima is one of the games I want to get through before I get to Shadows, but I don't think that's going to happen.
A lot of games.
That's 3 games that I want to get through.
Right. So I do have a sort of short discussion question I want to ask all you guys. Do we think we're going to see maybe Cassandra or Xiao Jun, or will be mentioned at all? Because obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't played. How old is that game? How old is Odyssey?
2018.
She's still around. So, and she was in the beginning of Jade. I think people have really rallied behind that character as of late. So I wonder if you guys think that we'll maybe get some old like characters that would be around, like maybe even in like an Ezio mention or something. Back in Italy, there was this great master assassin, you know.
So it'll be interesting, like for me, at least this question is interesting. I think Cassandra is really a coin toss I really think it is just if they want to do that or not. They might. I can see them not wanting to move on, let Cassandra go, and like, especially since Ezio, Cassandra, and Connor all got featured in the VR game. So I could see them not doing that, but I could also see them doing that because she is a fan favorite of, especially of the RPG trilogy.
Yeah.
Xiao Jun, I do think like there's a high possibility, depending on what they keep of the already pre-established lore, because the Japanese Brotherhood is established by the Chinese Brotherhood.
Yeah.
In the lore as it stands right now. So it would be interesting if like I could see Ezio getting mentioned in that way of like Xiao Zhang has passed down Ezio's teachings, and there's almost like this kind of mythical like, oh, here's the codex of Ezio Auditore, the Auditore Codex, kind of things like that.
I would love that. I would be so stoked if we saw her again. Saw Xiao Zhan again. 100% would love that. I personally,
I mean, she'd be old, but
I mean, yeah, but like she could be an old lady mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am more skeptical on Cassandra solely because we only saw her in Valhalla in a DLC. So I think if we see her in Shadows, it will also be in a DLC or added content of some kind after the base game.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, you wouldn't want her. I wouldn't want her to be like a big part of the game. Just maybe like not a cameo. I was about to say cameo, but I don't mean like cameo. Like, oh, there's like something's happening, and you just see her walk by. But I think that the crossover they've said before that they wanted to do more of those crossover stories. It's just that there's so much time between the end of Odyssey and now, or well, 2018. So I mean, obviously we know she's out looking for Pieces of Eden. I don't know if Pieces of Eden will be involved in this story or not. I'm sure it's maybe a DLC or something, maybe. But yeah, I saw a video about characters that could return the other day, and I just want to get y'all's input on that because I love Cassandra as a character. And like I said, she has so much. There's so much time.
There's so many different
story.
things they can do with her story too. The potential is almost endless, just because, again, like you've said, there is so much time. So I kind of feel like I agree with Austin. It could be a toss up. Either way, we'll just have to wait and see.
Also, another cool thing that might be, because we don't really know much about this, it is possible to see a Kenway ancestor. Because we know at some point in this time period, the English discovered Japan as well. Discovered Japan following the Portuguese. And so, who knows? Maybe there's a Kenway ancestor in there. That would be a cool throwback.
That would be awesome. That would be cool.
Because I think it could be Edward's grandfather or father. I think there's enough time.
Yep.
I don't know. It could be. But I do think if anybody else doesn't have anything to add, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. So any final thoughts?
I'm excited about the game. Ready for it to come back.
Yes, ready for it to come out for sure.
One more month.
All right. Well,
to play.
Exactly 1 month from today.
Yes. Okay, well, let's go backwards this time. So, Kyle, do you have anything you want to shout out or leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I have a podcast with my friends called the Movie Juice Podcast. We drop episodes every Thursday morning around like 6. This week we did Tropic Thunder. A lot of fun to talk about that movie because it was very influential for me as like just like comedy in general. I think Ben Stiller's a good director too. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Awesome. And Sir Sits.
Yeah, so I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/therecentralot00. Kind of on a hiatus, kind of. I'm in a rut when it comes to gaming at the moment. Waiting for Shadows. Also have a YouTube channel, Assassin's Creed YouTube channel, I should say. You can search for AC Chronology Project. I'm just started getting back into doing that. Also want to give a shout out to Zevik on YouTube, who recently did finished his Odyssey walkthrough/playthrough, where he never took a hit of damage. So he always does really good gameplay. So I like to shout him out every once in a while.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you all for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at AC Lorecast.
If you have any lore questions or topics to unpack, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It's the best place on the internet. You can also support us financially through our Patreon. Find us on patreon.com/Assassin's Creed Lorecast. The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio Network. For more information about the Robots Radio Network, join the Discord server via the link in our episode's description.
If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, and join the Patreon. And if you enjoyed our intro and outro music, make sure you give a big thank you to Pipeman Studios. Thank you, Pipeman. Thanks again for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. And always remember, Assassins, stay in the shadows to serve the light.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to live better? We got a lot of work to do. Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live Better Now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live Better Now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.